Hey, welcome to another episode of Auburn All the Time. Hey, I'm here with my boy, my man, my dude, the host with the most, Bruce Howard, and me, yours truly, Rod Stevens. Man, look, we got a lot to talk about today, so look, y'all bear with us. And since we got a lot to talk about, Bruce, I just say, man, let's just go with our reactions from the Georgia State game first.
Man, I know you got a lot to say, so I'm gonna just let you can have the ball and
Well,
run with it.
okay
You got
then.
it.
Well, first of all, I text you IDK on Saturday. I mean, I really don't know, man. There's some that we still got a lot of questions to answer. I mean, it's just so many things that happened from this particular game
Right.
that brought about. I mean, all the things that we've been talking about. We've been talking about recruiting. I don't even know if we've touched on the targeting penalty. Do you realize how much effect that target penalty was for Penn State? I mean, having McClain not play the first half.
I would say to this point, he's the best player on defense.
It hands down, because if you change, I mean, it was just like they flipped over a piece of paper, and it was a whole different defense that came out there the second half.
Missed assignments. I didn't even watch. Like, I was attending the funeral, so I mean, it was like I was at a funeral, and when I came home, I was still at a funeral. Watching that,
Exactly.
I came home it was fourth quarter, which I recorded and all
Right.
that. But that just go to show you just how big of an impact McClain really makes. But really though, they shouldn't have been in that position.
They should not have been in that position. But here's the thing, Bruce.
Right.
And shout out to my boys at DSF podcast, Down South Football Podcast, my homeboy Ben, David, Chauncey, and my homeboy Renard, man. They on Facebook, Twitter. I just want to, shameless plug for them guys, but they doing big things. Y'all check them out every now and then. But listen, my boy Renard has said, man, we gotta stop looking at what jersey somebody got on or the helmet that we're watching, because there's talent everywhere, man. Right. What you think about that, Bruce? I mean, that goes back to recruiting too. And then when you talk about the 2020 season, I understand, man, we should have been on a whole different level than them, but I have to give respect and props what props is due, because Georgia State did have a talented football team.
Well, for their level.
For their level, right.
But I'll say this too. It's never as bad as it seems, and it's never as good as it seems, because you look at what's going on at Florida State, North Carolina, Washington. It's all these different teams. Like Washington lost to Montana.
Yeah.
Florida State lost to Jacksonville State. So we was fortunate to win the game, but I'd rather win ugly
than
you know what I'm saying? So
you're right.
So we're fortunate to win, but all's not lost. So we didn't lose. So all we gotta do is put that in the rearview mirror. And there's one focus and one focus only. I'm not talking about quarterbacks. And look, it's time to beat LSU. We haven't won there. I was 21 years old, and I'm 44 now.
I was 19.
So since we won there in 99, so that tells you all you need to know. Speaking of quarterbacks, you know what the topic is. I mean, there's not even debate. Do you feel better, or do you feel? Well, I mean, how do you feel?
Well, I don't feel like, I'm just gonna be honest, and
Right.
I'm. That's one thing about me. A lot of people be like, "Well, how can you talk about Auburn like that?" Well, at least I'm real with Auburn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm an Auburn fan.
Right.
I'll stay an Auburn fan.
Right.
But I still don't. I don't believe that TJ Finley is the answer right now either, because he came in and saved the day. Given the circumstances that they were in. Like you said, we should never have been in that position. We probably never would have even seen TJ Finley if we were not in that position. But granted, I will give him credit. He stayed poised.
Right.
He kept his eyes down the field. Now I do like that part about him. And he stepped up in the pocket, and he made plays whenever plays needed to be made or had to be made. I.e. the touchdown pass to Jackson. I mean, we had to have that. But there was several passes that he missed on that I mean, it was just like, come on, man, And then maybe it could have been the adrenaline, the excitement. I don't know, So
I came home, and it was the fourth quarter, maybe 12 minutes to go in the game, which I was listening to the game on the way home from, the funeral. And I was like, man, as soon as I got home, I was recording it on a DVR. I deleted it. I didn't want to watch it. But looking back, I caught the highlights and, I watched as much of it as I could stand. Bo Nix missed wide open touchdown pass, end zone. And I like the guy. Sean Shivers had a long run where he had one guy to miss. Instead of trying to make him miss, he just ran into him and hit the ground. I don't know. That's either here or there, but this is what I think about the whole situation. I actually believe, which I'm not an insider, we're just two regular guys. We're fans. That we're not up here for we don't look at the numbers. We don't crunch the numbers. We're not computer gurus on that stuff like some guys. But I know what my eyes see. You know what I'm saying? I just go by what I see. And I really believe that this will be the most crucial game of the season, hands down, because if you look at their schedule, if they lose this game, I don't see another win anytime soon.
And that's what I was gonna say, the same exact thing, because this is a crucial turning point to the rest of the season, because we got Georgia Knicks, Arkansas is killing, man. They kick. We're gonna see what they do this weekend.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Yeah, but
I know what you're saying.
Golly, man. And then we got Ole Miss. No. Like I told you in the beginning, I had doubts about that game, but now I'm really like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So these teams now, man, they're some of them may be considered rebuilding, but bro, I don't know, man. We got to establish the momentum going forward with this game right here, and we just gonna have to, get at it, man. So what you think?
I've had people all week text me, call me at work. I had one guy I had to pretty much talk off the ledge. I'm just gonna tell you. It's that bad. But I told him this. Like I said, we're not insiders, man. We just call it like we see it. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this about Bo Nix. I love Bo Nix. I really do. But it's almost at the point, like, as Christians, we don't believe in divorce.
That's true.
But football, this ain't about being Christian. I think this is I think this is a divorce that's getting ready to happen. If things don't turn around, basically we're at the point now where this marriage needs counseling. And if counseling don't work and prayer don't work, it's time to move on. But I'll say this also: the chapter ain't been closed on Nix yet. I think he's got something left in him before this season's over with. I really do. I think he'll start against LSU. I have no idea what's going to happen. When he plays, I can actually see him having a good game against LSU, because LSU is not great by any means. I think the thing that bothers me about LSU, they're good. They lead the SEC in sacks. Mm-hmm. And considering what we got at offensive tackle, that's not good. Mm-hmm. But I think you can run on them. And we got two excellent running backs. And just looking back, I watched them last week against Mississippi State. Mississippi State does not like to run the ball under Mike Leach.
No, they don't.
They had over 100 yards rushing against LSU. That tells me that's a ding ding for me. Yeah. That's a sign for me.
It is.
If we stick to the run, I think we can have success. I think we can ball control and have success against LSU. And I'm looking at the early forecast. They're calling about 70% chance of thunderstorms and showers. Okay. So, it could change. You know how the weather is. It's unpredictable. But that would definitely play in our hands. But I'm with you. I don't necessarily think Finley is the answer, because I don't think there's really much difference between the two.
No.
I think if you could combine both guys into one quarterback, you might have a better product. Yeah. Because you got Bo with a little more mobility. Mm-hmm. A little more. I think he's a little more tougher, actually. But then you got Finley with a better arm. Both of them have accuracy issues. Don't kid yourself. Yeah. But Finley will rather pass the ball than run the ball. Right. And for whatever reason, we'll stay here all day if we start talking about Mike Bobo and his offense and Derek, whatever. But Bo Nix is a runner. Mm-hmm. Run him. If he gets hurt, so what? Run him. I guarantee you run him, let him get hit a few times. That might loosen him up some. Yeah. And let him, you ain't got to. I think they came out, looking back at it, the Georgia State game, I think they came out trying to prove to everybody that he can pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? He can't pass the ball.
And that's something that I actually thought about myself when I was watching the game. I was like, okay, where's all these and we got these running backs that are just monsters. First of all, because I don't know what y'all been watching, but Hunter, man, that's a 1-2 punch, waiting to happen. I mean, Bigsby and Hunter's a 1-2 punch waiting to happen.
Right.
To your point about Bo Nix possibly playing well on Saturday, I can see that too, because now they've lit a fire under his butt, and he said that he was shocked that he got pulled. He thought he was playing well. Well, son, you need to go back and look at the film. You know what I'm saying? That was some things, and I'm pretty sure we'll discuss the firing of Cornelius Williams.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that later, but it's not totally his fault.
I don't know the ins and the outs on why he got fired. But I'll say this: it was several times in that game they only had 10 players on the field, and the one player that was missing was the receiver. So I got my thoughts and whatever, but I leave it to myself, and we can talk off air about that. But it's kind of odd, Of course, whenever you see a firing in the middle of the season, I mean, it's the third game. We talking about a third of the season, a fourth of the season done taking place, and now you're firing someone, and Harsin said he wasn't trying to prove a point or whatever, but you put your analysts in the position now that you had it, boys and stuff. So there's red flags everywhere. Are boosters telling him what to do? I mean, you got so many questions to answer. I actually think that. From a coaching standpoint, it's early to tell, but I would say that he's definitely an upgrade from a coaching standpoint because he's been an offensive coordinator before. Mm-hmm. He's been an analyst it is what it is, at Alabama. And like I said, and he's put plenty of guys in the NFL, Deshaun Jackson, several guys. So, I mean, John Ross, that went to the Bengals, that's with somebody else now. But beside that, I mean,
well, he actually coached, no. I was just, my bad.
Right. But I'm like, the only thing I question about with him coming from there, what kind of recruiter is he?
That's
gonna be the key.
That's the next thing I was gonna ask.
You know how I feel about recruiting. I try not to talk about it that much, but I'm concerned because I mean, just to vary off, just for a brief second, the running back from Pike County today, Junkins, committed to Ole Miss. I'm not saying he committed over us because I don't think he could commit to us right now.
Right.
But that's something to keep an eye on down the road. But I noticed something. Like I said before in previous videos, we have to keep our in-state guys that's in our backyard mainly. Right. And I noticed yesterday, the number one player in the state of Alabama for next year is a cornerback down there right around Phoenix City, A.J. Harris, which I know his family and stuff is originally from Georgia. We didn't even make his top 10. Unexcusable. And the thing about you say whatever, I know moved from Georgia. He's got Alabama. I think he's basically down between Alabama. I think Georgia was leading. Now I think, from what I understand, they're running third, and you got Alabama and Clemson as his top two.
That's exactly.
Like I said before, recruiting is recruiting. That's fine. People say, whatever. He needs to have I would say, realistically, in order for us to even just stay in the same ballpark, this needs to be a top 10 recruiting class. He needs back-to-back top 10 recruiting classes.
He does.
And right now, I don't see it. But it could change. But that's either here or there. We'll see how it plans out. But that's definitely a red flag for me. I like Harsin. I like what he stands for. I like the way he's run the program up to this point.
Right.
I do have some questions about Mike Bobo and Derek Mason to a certain extent.
Derek Mason, too.
But this is year one. And if you can see anything from it comes from a coaching standpoint, all you gotta do, year two, look at Arkansas. Mm-hmm. That tells y'all, even though I think they might get hurt this weekend, it don't matter. They have taken on the identity of their coach. A guy that's never been a head coach before. He's never even been a coordinator before. Mm-hmm. But they respond. Whatever he's selling, they're responding to it.
And
they're buying in.
They buying in.
Whatever kind of foundation, I think Harsin's trying to set a foundation of hard work, fundamentals, everybody on the same page, same accord. All that's good and fine, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But don't kid yourself. As good as Arkansas is playing, it comes down to recruiting also.
Yeah.
And if you're not consistently top 10, Auburn really, to be honest with you, I take that back. They don't need to be top 10. Really, this should be, they should, I know they won't, they need the number one recruiting class in the nation to me. And there's so many holes that I see. I mean, and think about it, this should be the easiest sell when it comes to recruiting. Immediate playing time, offensive line, receiver. We're losing all three linebackers. I mean, you name it. You know what I'm saying? It should be an easy sell. And if you're an offensive lineman in the South, you want to come in and play right away. Come on down. I mean, I don't know how much easier it can get, but we'll see. I mean, I'm concerned, but all hope ain't lost either. I know that I think they'll close strong, but how strong is the question. But like I said, they should realistically they should have 5 or 6 offensive line already committed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, moving right along.
But I mean, like you said, we can stay here because I feel like recruiting is the essence of college football.
It is the lifeblood of college football.
Yes, it is the I'm talking about
anybody
I'm talking about that's it, man. And then we know the draft is for the NFL.
90% recruiting, 10% coaching.
Exactly.
I really truly believe that.
That I mean, you can't get no. I mean, that's a good definition.
Right.
Recruiting, man, is gonna play a major role. I just want to go back to you was talking about Mike Bobo and Derek Mason. I still, you know, we ain't even talked about the Penn State game.
Man,
we ain't talked about that.
First of all, I want to apologize to everybody. I predict Auburn would win. They did.
Well,
they could have. They should. Well, realistically, I think they should have.
I feel like there was so many.
It kind of reminded me of the South Carolina game from last year. A game they should have won if they just ran the ball.
They left too much on the field.
Too much on the field. I know Nix didn't play great. I think he played good enough.
I think he played good enough to win that game. You know
what's crazy about it? I think the wrong guys have been playing at receiver. But what's funny about it, I think you have guys like Elijah Canyon, Capers, Dawson, the freshman, coming along that need to play more. And I like what I see from Kobe Hudson. He's turning into who I think will be the number one receiver.
Yes.
But the two guys that a lot of fans, include myself, I mean, I have nightmares about, and I bash is Smoke Monday and Shedrick Jackson. They won the game.
You know what? I was thinking about that on the way over.
When Finley rolled around for it seemed like 10 seconds back there, and he threw the ball in the end zone. Out of all people, you knew, if you knew who was standing in that end zone, you'd be like, please God, anybody else.
And we didn't see it until the ball actually got into his hand because of the camera work they had on. You know, it was so close to to the end zone. But that's what.
I hate to say it, I hope that's his last catch of the year. You know, to a certain degree. And it's like, but you know what though? I give Smoke Monday credit.
No, man.
He's terrible in coverage.
He is a liability.
And the thing about it, he made a good play. He intercepted the ball, but he actually he had to hold it against his body. But the guy threw it in the double coverage. Yeah. I mean, it's like he didn't even see him. Yeah. But anyway, thank you for them two. Thank you for that, for pulling it out for us.
Because we've been on Smoke, but man, we was on Smoke Monday worse than we was on Cedric Jackson.
I kid you not, man. I'm embarrassed sometimes. I'm embarrassed sometimes to even go around any Alabama fans because as much as he's been abused, even though he did have a pick 6 against him. He's been picked on a lot. But I will say this, he is a tackling safety though. Yeah. He will put his head in there. Yeah. He's not even the heaviest guy in the box. Right. But he'll go in there and he'll put his head in there.
But for him,
he's got pretty good throat slash too.
Yeah, and it's that was just so ironic that them two basically sealed the ball game. That I was fussing about Smoke Monday for I've been I done gave the boy a new name, you know, Burnt Tuesday or whatever.
Ruby Tuesday.
Fried Saturday. Whatever it is. But anyway, they came up with it. But Derek Mason, man, I got some questions about,
But you know,
what's your pressure situation?
Man, it's that old philosophy. You don't want to get beat over the top, so you keep everything in front of you. You play the defensive backs 5-10 yards off the line of scrimmage. I'm not a defensive coordinator.
But that's not going to diamond you, though, man.
Against Ole Miss of the world, even against LSU, they don't run the ball great, but they pass the ball. They got 2 excellent receivers.
Exactly.
I mean, what's his name? How you say his name? Bote? Deion Smith, that number 6. I mean, he's like a freshman All-American. They got a tight end, Jason Taylor's son. I mean, they throw the ball. That's what they do. And if you're playing 5-10 yards off the receiver, the other thing about that, too, to me, that's bend but don't break defense, but that's not winning defense. Mm-hmm. That's safe. Safe don't get you. Safe don't win you nothing.
It don't. And that's how they played against Penn State.
Yeah. They didn't give up. That receiver Dotson had 11 catches, 12. He didn't have that many outstanding yards, but that many catches though. You know what I'm saying?
And then the tight end, man, they just had a field day.
Man, that's scary.
That's Smoke Monday.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. On and 1 or 2 plays, linebacker too.
Yeah, and I guess we can move on. We could look forward to I guess we'll start talking about what we got ahead of us, LSU, for this week. What you think it's gonna take?
It's simple. Run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix don't try to play hero. I think both quarterbacks will actually play. I think it's a possibility you might see both quarterbacks the rest of the way, unless one of them separates themselves.
Yep.
I'll say this though. If Bo Nix goes out there and struggles, and they pull him early in this game, and Finley gets in the game, and we somehow find a way to win underneath him playing, I don't see how you can go back to him.
That's it.
And the thing about it, though, it's kind of, I think we're going to be in a catch-22 all year, because even if Bo Nix plays well and we win this game, the moment he don't play well and costs us a game, it's right back over.
Yeah.
So really, I think at the end of the day, I hate to say it, at the end of the year, I don't think he will quit on Auburn. It's really time for us to separate. I think that would be the best for the program, not unless he just turns it on and just plays outstanding football the rest of the way, which I don't see, because I think what's in you is in you.
It's already. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's never going to be a 70% completion quarterback. Why they're not running to him, God knows. But if I was him, if they even call all these passing plays, I would check off and just for anything and just take over myself, which I don't know if that will work. But he has to run the ball some. But I'll say this, it's his time though. I mean, if he actually starts, which I think he will, but if he don't, even if he don't, an opportunity is coming his way again. Yeah. I do know that. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
But
I don't believe it's over for Bo Nix. Just for the simple. I mean, all the stuff that you said, I echo it.
Right.
I feel like he's gonna get an opportunity. I'm like you. I've already got the feeling in my gut that he will be the starter Saturday. Right. And I'm not gonna be surprised not one bit.
Right.
I feel like and here I am doing this benefit of the doubt thing again. Right. I feel like the boy have a good game Saturday.
He could. He
could probably have his best.
He had one of his better games last year against them.
Yeah,
and there's a chance Derek Stingley is not going to play.
That's what I was going to talk about that as well.
But even if he does play, I mean,
he's just one side of the field.
Yeah, and he's never really done a whole lot against Auburn anyway.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, he's good.
I mean, he's still an All-American.
Right.
You have to consider that. You know, he's still an All-American, All-SEC player.
Right.
But I echo. You know, I keep harking on it. A heavy dose of Bigsby and Hunter, man. They
should be able to run the ball on them.
And if they come out, I'm gonna tell you just like this, Bruce.
Right.
7:00 kickoff, Death Valley.
8:00 our time.
8:00 our time. My bad.
Right. You good?
Night game.
Right. The odds are, if you look at it, we haven't won over there since '99.
99.
Night game for all them Cajuns to get liquored up all day. I mean, it is what it is. The odds are against us.
It is.
But at the end of the day, LSU is still super talented. I just look at, they got talent. I mean, they got.
And that's why people got questions about them.
But I'm talking about just from a team standpoint, not talent. Team. Auburn is a better team than LSU to me, because they do the things that they are equipped to do the things it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good against stopping the run.
Yeah.
Except for last week, first half.
Except for last week.
They run the ball. They run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you said you want to. They have been excellent special teams.
Special teams.
They've been excellent.
Right.
So they got the formula. I think if you look at the recipe for success on how to win games, the recipe is better than what LSU do. LSU throws the ball 75% of the time because they can't run it. I actually, man, all jokes aside, I mean, I'm an idiot. I mean, when it comes to, I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble. And I'm terrible at predicting who's going to win.
3.5.
But I like Auburn. I like Auburn. I'm thinking, to be honest with you, I'm thinking Auburn might get out on them a little bit. I'm thinking, I'll say this. I'll say 31-23. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling generous. We're in that season. It's almost a giving season. So I'm feeling generous.
Listen, and you probably gonna kick me off the show.
I mean, if Auburn actually loses this game, we might not have another show this year. We'll just regroup and come back next year. Because if Auburn loses this game, there's really not gonna be a whole lot to talk about.
It really won't.
We might. I could actually bring you back. I mean, this is your show too, but I can actually bring you back for basketball season.
And I would love to come back for basketball. But listen.
You gotta get away from North Carolina. Okay, that's, anyway.
No.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
I'm rooting for Auburn basketball.
Okay.
I can have two teams.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Because, listen, when they played in that was it Sweet 16 game?
Man, they hurt y'all pretty good. But
look, but when Auburn took the lead, I was go on for the dog. Okay. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
Okay.
This football season.
Right.
So, my prediction is,
okay,
I actually got two predictions.
All right.
So, I'm going to be an idiot on this prediction, but Auburn run doggone football.
Right.
And establish this run game because, like I said, I was leading up to this 8 o'clock game, night game.
Right.
The crowd is going to be crazy. First of all, and y'all come out there and start throwing the ball and stuff around,
which I'm worried about. They might actually do.
And I may turn the game off and just wait on the results because I already know where it's going.
Right.
So if that happens, I got LSU winning.
Right.
But it's gonna be a tight one. They're not gonna cover, but I think it's gonna be one of them old-fashioned 20-19 games.
Wow.
But if Auburn gets out there, and if we can get 250 between them two backs, 250 yards between them two backs, I believe it's gonna be a bad day for LSU, for them Bayou Bengals.
Right.
Man, I would go out on a limb and I'll say 24-14. You know,
I'll take
Auburn.
I'll take it.
And so, call me. You know, I know I can't take. You know, you ain't supposed to have two predictions, but this our show. We can have.
Well, it's like this. The way this season going, who has a prediction?
Yeah, right.
Especially when it comes to Auburn. I mean, who has one?
Right.
Well, if they even come out and play like they did against Penn State, I think they will win.
And they did. Here's my thing. I'm trying to figure out what happened to the offensive line that played against Penn State because I feel like the offensive line played very well.
Let's just say this.
Penn State.
You know, one of the issues against Georgia State, they almost let the Penn State loss turn into 2 losses because you said you want to. Natural reaction. They were disappointed because they felt like there's not a man on that team that felt like they should have won that game. So obviously their mind went right.
Yeah.
I mean that's human nature. I mean, you're only going to get a max peak in a season 2 or 3 times. Yep. And you're not going, I don't care, you can slice it and dice it and watch the film and you can cuss, or do whatever you got to do. They're not going to get up the same capacity for Georgia State they did Penn State. Not going to happen.
And that's what I'm hoping happens this game, that they actually get up to play this game. And that's what I'm hoping, that's the silver lining of the Georgia State game. I'm just hoping that, we woke now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we can't let this get us.
This is what I like to see happen. If Auburn wins the coin toss, they always defer to the second half.
Mm-hmm.
They need to take the ball.
They need to take the ball
and run it down. Just run it down the throat. They got some guys on defensive line like Farrell. They got the freshman Mason Smith. He was a 5-star. They got these guys. They lost their top rush in. He's out for the year. Anthony with a torn ACL.
Yeah.
But I mean that's good because we can't pass the ball anyway. So I just run right out. But anyway, like I said, 31-23. I mean, like I said, I don't gamble, but I won't go to the bookie with that either. I mean, but still.
Okay. I'm a big Auburn fan.
Okay. True Auburn fan.
True Auburn. Well,
true colors. Orange and blue. You bleed right now. You bleed orange and blue. Right now.
I'm gonna say 24-14.
Auburn. That's what I'm talking about.
And document me or whatever. We may be the two biggest idiots here, but we die hard Auburn fans.
Right,
so what can you expect? You see it in the back there. I mean, here it is. I mean, we Auburn fans. We gonna critique our team. We can critique our team.
Right.
At least we're realists about our team because. Right. You got so many people that some of their teams just can't do no wrong. They don't have an answer for it.
I can tell you now, I'm not gonna predict Auburn to win every game because I know they're not.
No.
I call it like I see it. No. But I'm gonna tell you something. Something I've been meaning to do that I forgot to do. As always, anybody watching this, you can always hit the like and subscribe button. And feel free to always comment because the area of improvement for me, I'm always looking to improve, and I take on any criticism because there's nowhere to go but up with this because, right. I mean, I don't have the answers, but anything that you can say or do to help us to improve what we're doing, feel free to share it with us.
And, man, a note to that, man, listen, we appreciate everybody that view our videos. Right. You know, I know I'm corny at times, but listen, man. Listen, we're just here for mere entertainment.
That's it.
We're not like he said. We just two.
We're not here for. We're not necessarily here for the likes or nothing like that. We're just here to talk Auburn.
That's Auburn, man.
We're not in it for the fanfare because everybody ain't gonna like what you're saying anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Exactly. And so, man, we appreciate it. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts, man. Like, subscribe, and follow, whatever you got to do.
Right.
Listen, before we go, Bruce.
Right.
Man, you know I always tell you come up with some of the craziest stats. Some stat that Mel Kiper, Lee Corso, whoever, Kirk Herbstreit, they don't even know. But you got a crazy stat for us going into this game. Besides we hadn't won there since '99.
There's nothing else to say after that. I'm just trying to think that. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you this is a stat that don't have anything to do with this game.
Okay.
Before we go, we got two predictions that must be made on this show.
Okay.
Alabama Ole Miss game, Georgia Arkansas, and this is my stat. I think Ole Miss last year defensively. If they wouldn't last in the nation in total defense, how many? I don't know. 115, whatever.
It's 130. I think it's 131, something like that.
Okay.
I think it's in the 130s.
Okay. This year in total defense, they're 58.
Oh my God.
Okay. That's a stat for you.
That's a stat.
So you got. I mean, like I said. I mean, don't go to the bookie, but I think Alabama is a 15 point favorite. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Georgia is an 19 point favorite. Mm-hmm. I think both underdogs cover that line. For some reason. I mean, if the one game that I don't feel that great about is Georgia Arkansas, because I think Georgia might hurt Arkansas because their quarterback, Jefferson, he's banged up a little bit too. But the thing about it, this is what you got to realize about the Georgia game. The number one thing Arkansas likes to do, they like to pound the ball. They like to run the ball, okay? And that's probably what Georgia's strength is. Yeah. I mean, they're good defensively. Speaking of, okay, you got me. Georgia, they played 4 games, right?
Yeah, they.
You know how many touchdowns they've given up on the season?
0.
1.
You
know how many times teams have been in the red zone?
How many?
4.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't care if you're playing Slippery Rock. I don't care who you can be playing Gaston City. That's good. I mean, I hate Georgia. I mean, they disrespect us and they've embarrassed us so much. But I'll say this right now, which I'm going to take a lot of heat, which I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. I actually think Georgia's the best team in the country this year.
I agree.
I think they're more physical than Alabama. I think basically this year Alabama's they're the prettier team. Yeah. They're the sexier team.
Yeah.
Georgia is the more pound for pound that will hit you in the mouth team.
Yeah.
But not to look ahead of next week, it's gonna be ugly. But with that being said, there's one thing that I'm gonna go ahead and say a prayer tonight for our center, Nick Brahms. When he faces which he's unseen him before, but when he looks across the line of scrimmage and sees Jordan Davis, he's only 6'6", 350.
Only 6'6".
I mean, Brahms, I hope after next week that you're able to walk. I mean, it's not gonna be good.
It's gonna be
but with that being said, if Auburn actually beats LSU, I think we'll play with them.
Yeah.
I really do. So with that being said, I think both underdogs cover. I'm hoping. I'm not going. I don't know. Alabama. I don't know. Whatever. How you feeling about it?
I think I've laughed more on this recording right here than any other. Not laughing at you.
Well, the thing about it, with the way this season going, it's a good thing you did because this might be our last show for this year. I mean, the way it's going. So
please, Auburn, listen, we hope not. But
okay,
I'm just gonna say this: don't believe the hype.
Right.
I believe both teams will cover. I think Georgia will cover, and I think Alabama will cover as well. I just don't believe the hype. I mean, this game, especially this Ole Miss game, has been hyped up too much, and this is what Nick Saban feeds off of. He will have his team ready. Granted, they are a young team defensively and offensively. I mean, you can't just continue to do the same thing after losing that many starters and that much talent to the NFL. But they're doing a dang good job. I hate to say it. I hate that came out of my mouth, but I'm a realist. I'm a real football fan, but I do believe both teams will cover. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I would definitely love to see Ole Miss win, and it would be a laugh for me. But I honestly don't think that Georgia thing.
We almost had the perfect Saturday. Two Saturdays ago. Florida had a shot against Alabama.
They had a shot,
and Auburn had a shot against Penn State. Yep. So this is one of them Saturdays that it could be a real good Saturday for Auburn fans. Ole Miss beats Alabama. Auburn beats LSU. Mm-hmm. And I will go to church Sunday morning holding my head up pretty high.
I might wear orange and blue to church.
Man, it's going to be...
which I've done that before after Auburn has won.
It's just something about going to church on Sunday with a win on your belt. Because
it is.
90% where I go to church at, People Place in Gaston on George Wallace Drive.
Mm-hmm.
A place where people have a heart for the people.
Shameless plug.
90% of them are Bama fans.
Oh, wow.
So you can only imagine how that goes. But I will not mix business with pleasure. I don't do it.
And I try my best.
I try not to. But I get that random, I'll walk in or whatever. Mm-hmm. I get that old random, we didn't think you was going to be here today. So if that tells you anything, get that old random, you know how it goes, man. Same thing at work. Luckily, I don't have to report to the plant. Mm-hmm. on a lot of times on Monday, I just go ahead and get started my day. Because you get that old call. I've gotten calls at night. We praying for you, man.
And that's one thing about my job. I'm
right.
In regards to that, fortunately, I work with a bunch of women because there's a lot of women in nursing. But I get it from them sometimes too because they'll call me out as an Auburn fan and they be Bama's or whatever. And I just be like, well, did you watch the whole game? I got to bring up some kind of excuse.
I got a sister. That's an Alabama fan.
Oh, wow.
My oldest sister.
What happened to her?
We don't have the same daddy. If that tells you anything.
No one.
But I get that good old call 11 o'clock at night. Just checking in on you.
Just checking in on you.
Do we need to send an ambulance over there? Just, that random stuff.
Yeah.
But, man, time flies when you're having fun.
Man, it does.
When you feel like you're doing God's work.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Time flies.
And it's man, listen, always.
It's been good, man. It's been real. I hope to see y'all again next week. I really, truly do. But if Auburn loses, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good for the home team.
It's not. Because, like I said, really, what is there to talk about? I mean, I'm sure there will be plenty to talk about, though, good or bad.
I guess I get my Bruce Pearl shoes on. But anyway, listen, man, y'all catch the game this Saturday. No matter who you're rooting for, man, hey, keep it in the road. It's not that serious.
It's not,
when it's over, it's over. No matter who wins or lose, keep your composure, man. And it's just entertainment.
Right.
If we can keep that in our minds and keep God first, man, hey, everything will be good. So with that being said, man, we appreciate y'all joining us tonight. And War Eagle.
War Eagle.